Original.
Hello and welcome to Web Crawlers. This is one of our mini episodes, which is a shorter episode of our longer episodes. However, they still end up being just as long as our main episodes. So it does. I don't know why we call them mini. I am Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
And I'm producer Maria.
I am super, super excited. I don't know why I said I. We are all super excited today, but mostly me just because I'm the one who's into this weird shit. We have Jessica Lanyadoo today on the podcast. She is the host of Ghost of a Podcast, which does way better than our podcast does. It's an astrology and advice podcast. She's an astrologer, a psychic medium, and an animal communicator, which we're going to get into later today. So I'm super excited about that. Jessica, hi, how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm already having so much fun.
No, thank you for being here. Just so we'll say it again at the end, but if people want to follow you online, where can they do that?
Sure. I'm all over the internet, and the way you find me is through my impossible to spell and super unique last name, Lanyadoo. So I'm at Jessica Lanyadoo on Twitter and on Instagram. And and my website's Love Lanyadoo. It's so stupid. I don't know why. It was like early stages of the internet. I was like, I'm gonna own my last name. No one can say it. No one can spell it. And I have identified myself with it publicly. But also my podcast is Ghost of a Podcast. And you can find it at ghostofapodcast.com. And that's a lot easier to spell for most English speaking people. So yeah, we're cool. Yeah, that's the way to find me all over the internets.
Also, you chart on iTunes a lot, and you're also you've been on like New and Noteworthy and on like a lot of the lists when there's like spooky podcasts and like creepy podcasts. We always get jealous because we're never on there.
Amazing. Thank you for saying that. And the irony of this is that because of the name I chose, because I knew nothing about podcasting when I decided to do the podcast, because I call it Ghost of a Podcast. If there's ever like a list about astrology, I don't show up. But if there's lists about scary stories and every like Halloween I show up, and I'm sure that they're so disappointed. They're like, this is not about fucking ghosts at all. And I've learned a lot about marketing through having a podcast.
That's a good point. We got to change the name of our podcast. That's what
just something unrelated to anything having to do with like web crawling.
There's no there's nothing about webs or crawling. Okay, so I have a serious question, which is, how did you know? So you're an astrologer, like a communicator. You do tarot, how do you pronounce tarot, which is the way like real people do it?
I mean, I say tarot.
Tarot.
But,
okay.
But you can say tarot if you want. I mean, tarot is like a root that is eaten. Taro root. Have you ever had it? Or like boba tea, taro. But tarot is the study and practice of these here cards. So so I started fucking with tarot as a teenager.
Interesting.
And then in my later teens, and then I started studying astrology formally within a year of picking up the cards.
Yeah.
And then I have just dedicated my life to astrology. And then through the course of having an astrology career, consulting career, I figured out that I was psychic. This was the order of events. Psychic, I started to realize, animal communicator, started to realize, and then medium, aka able to talk to dead people and animals. And so all of these things kind of made themselves evidential to me over the course of time. They're not things I pursued. I've never like studied those things in any kind of formal way. And I have not done much to try to make them bigger other than use them frequently, these skills. Whereas tarot and astrology are studies that require intuition to use them well, but they're like courses of study that you have to really like learn the rules to become expert and efficient in. Psychic, medium, and animal communicator, not the same, right? They're just like like using different parts of your brain or whatever.
What was the first time you realized that you had the ability to do mediumship and like talk to the dead? Because I imagine that was like a interesting experience.
Well, for me, it was a lot more mundane than you'd think, because it was, I don't remember the year. I was probably in my late 20s, and I I had an astrology client and they had a dead parent and they wanted me to talk to their dead parent. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. And because I was young and I had poor boundaries, they were like, but I believe in you. Please do it. And I was like, no, honey, I can't. And they were like, please, I beg of you. And then I was like, well, it's your dollar. Just so you know, I don't think this is possible. And I don't think I can do it. And then I like checked in and I told them what I was seeing. And they were like, oh my God, that's exactly right. And I just was like, well, I don't know. And then I moved on with my life. So I had many experiences like that for many years. And I would never say that I was a medium. And I did not think I was a medium. I was like, well, maybe the butter, you know, that expression, the butter melts before the toast is warm. Like people want to believe. And it got to a place where it was happening so frequently. And I had a couple experiences that were so specific and so literal. And they weren't things I could explain away. I mean, I had many experiences like that, but then I had a couple that really stood out to me. And then at that point, in my early 30s, I was like, well, fuck, I guess I can talk to dead people. So it was just kind of like, it was like a period of accepting it, because even though you wouldn't necessarily think this about somebody who does what I do, but I'm kind of like a jaded pragmatist. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I want to put it in a box, close a box, shake the box. Oh, it's there. Okay, cool. Then I believe it's there. I'm that kind of person. So that's kind of why it took me a long time to really accept that it was happening and that it was possible.
Yeah, I can imagine. So when these things kind of come to you, because I know like mediums and psychics experience it in different kind of ways. Is it like a vision or imagery, or are you hearing a voice, or how is it like manifesting for you?
So in regards to dead people specifically, it's a variety of ways. Sometimes they'll just, it's going to sound gross because it is gross. Sometimes they just hop into my body. It's really gross.
Oh my God.
And where do you go when they hop into your body?
I'm right here. It's just a sausage. This meat suit is just a sausage. Dead people, they can just hop on in.
Holy shit.
Well, just think of it this way. Let's like, before you get too freaked out about it, think about how many parasites you have living in your body.
Right.
How many parasites? And they have consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So if you think about,
do?
Well, I would say everything has consciousness.
Oh my God, how scary.
I know, it's terrifying. Don't overthink it. But this is what I'm saying.
It's too late.
It's too late. I know. It's like if you've ever watched one of those like 60 Minutes reveals about like how many poop particles are on a doorknob of every public place you've ever been in, you'll lose your fucking mind, right? Like you can't overthink these things. Even though we know it's true, we have to keep living our lives. Well, spirit, like energy and dead people are all the fuck around us. They're just, of course they are. Now I say, of course they are. If you are of the conviction that there's not a location somewhere called heaven or hell, and if you are of the conviction that, we are not only our meat suit, then it's kind of of course there are spirits around us. Right. But the dead will sometimes, or, they will try to like pop into my body. So the way I'll know that there's a dead person around is I will feel their fucking feelings. So, I've had experiences that are pretty dramatic sounding. Like my mouth is filled with blood. I can feel the impact of a gun wound, like stuff like that. And then a lot more subtle, a lot more subtle things where I just am like, I can feel them. And my body has I get really tired. I used to get really cold when there was a dead person inside of me because they're dead. Just don't overthink it, right? Like they're dead. So it's cold and exhausting. It's physically very taxing to do mediumship. Yeah. Because when you let dead bodies or like dead spirits into your system, it's rough on the body. And I don't know how many studies have been done about like, how do you self-care through that? But I certainly haven't read those studies. So there's been like that's one way. I sometimes I'm just aware, just like it's like the way I always describe psychicship and mediumship is this way. Okay. So, shit, are you guys like classic rock? What kind of music do you all like kind of know? Trust
Matchbox 20.
What's that?
Matchbox 20.
Love Matchbox 20.
You don't know what that is. Okay, so what's a song? What's like your favorite song from that group?
We like adult alternative music.
Adult
Just give me a band. Give me a favorite song by a group.
Radiohead.
Okay, sure. Okay, so you know Creep. You know that song Creep, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you know Creep, you remember that song. And when I say that, you probably heard a little bit of the music in your head. You probably had a bit of a visual from like maybe the video or like the album cover if you're old. And you probably also have a feeling of like you're feeling about maybe there are times you obsessed on the song or the way the song makes you feel. That's what psychic is. That's what mediumship is. It's for me, not for everyone, but it's this thing where
That's a great way to explain it.
Yeah, I've
you
never
very
heard
much.
it explained like that.
It's not my first time, not to brag, but it's not my first time, honey. So for me, so it's kind of like it hits all of your senses. You're hearing and you're seeing, but not in the way that you're hearing and seeing me right now. It's not with your eyes and your ears.
Right.
It's with other senses. And in industrialized societies, we really tend to minimize the value and the importance of those senses, but they're a huge part of the human condition and of all life force condition, right? And so as, you know, a person with the particular skills that I have, I am simply not just aware of those senses, but I am like building my muscle around those senses. So just like with any other physical muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. You know, the less you use it, the more it's a liability. Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the answer. And, you know, I'll smell things. Sometimes I'll hear things. There's like a lot of ways that it presents for me. And technically speaking, that is because I have clairaudience, which is the gift of like hearing things, or clairsentience, which is like senses, as well as clairvoyance. Like but I mean, these words, they're very impressive to people, or they're like very stupid to people. Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, it just so happens that I have access to this data. Yeah. And I'll say on the psychic tip in the bag of tricks that I have of metaphor, is that people misunderstand about psychic. They're like, okay, so you have an internet connection. That means you've read all the websites on all the internet. You've consumed all that data and you understand it all. And you're thinking of all that data all at once. You know everything about me, who's going to win the NFL, whatever. And the reality is that has nothing to do with psychic. It means I have internet access. My speed is super fast. It's like I've got a really fast connection. It's a good connection. But that doesn't mean that I know all things about all people at all moments. That's stupid. That's so stupid. That's not what psychic means. And I think that there's been this sensationalized kind of like set of myths that have been developed about psychics as a way to minimize them, right? Or us. And also it's based on fear and people just don't fucking know. And so I'm a really big privacy junkie. I love privacy. I listen to Edward Snowden. I am really interested in privacy. And so I don't like peeping Tom on people. Like I don't psychically peep at people at all. I don't talk to dead people that I don't know. If I'm like sitting on a park bench and there's a dead person there, I don't talk to them. And if there's a live person there, I don't talk to them either necessarily. Do you know what I mean? Like I use common sense with all this shit because common sense is useful even in the woo.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Is this passed down at all? Like, does anyone else in your family have this or?
Not that we're aware of. No. Mm-mm.
Wow, and so what do you think attributes your, openness to that? Where do you think that comes from?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think, honestly, some of it has to do with the fact that I was born with a defect on my face. I have like asymmetrical eyes and always have, and it was much worse when I was a kid. And I'm gay. I'm very gay. And I don't mean to I be too emotional about it, but I am. And so, I early on knew that I was different. And I early on knew that it didn't matter what I did. I was never going to be somebody who fit in. I'm also from like a background that is complicated in terms of like my parents having different backgrounds. And it was complicated in my family dynamic. So there was this sense of like, I'm not going to belong. I'm not going to look good by conventional standards. I'm not going to fit in no matter what. And so I never had in my personality this idea that I was going to that I should like pick a normal life or whatever. Like it never even occurred to me. I was never encouraged to go to university or anything like that. I was only encouraged to marry rich. That was like the only thing I was ever encouraged to do. They were like, you're going to need to find someone to pay your way, honey. And then when I realized I was gay in my later teens, I was just like, well, I'm just going to have to like pull a share and be a rich man. You know what I mean? And so the idea of fitting in was never important to me. Also, I don't have capitalistic values. I would have very anti-capitalistic values. So I never was like, oh, I want to make money and I want to have a career and I want to like own a house or own a car or anything like that. Like I never wanted anything. So I wasn't in 1994 when I moved from Montreal, Quebec to San Francisco, California to become an astrologer. And again, this was like the internet had been invented like a year and a half before that. You know what I mean? Like it was a minute ago. It was an old lady. So it's like I didn't have like aspirations outside of I wanted to explore what I was interested in. And my kind of approach to it was very I look back and it was great strategy, but at the time it wasn't really a strategy outside of like, I want to serve my community and I want to do what I feel called to do. And that's what I did. And it was effective.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Oh.
So I guess so that we have time, moving on to the animal communication stuff. We all have animals and we've never come into contact with any kind of animal communicator. And we're super, super fascinated and into that idea. So we were wondering, is there any way you can like communicate or give us any information about our pets or like what's going on with our pets? Because we all have some weirdo animals.
Totally expected. Okay, so I can always try. But I always, warn people that like, just because I can talk to animals doesn't mean they want to talk to me. I have two cats myself. One of them is just like, why are you fucking talking to me all the time? And the other one, she is not into it. She's just like super fucking not into it. And the other one, it loves it. He was a feral cat. He adopted us like less than 2 years ago. And so he chose me in part because we could talk. He's very
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. He's amazing. So just to say, right. Let's try. Let's see what happens. Who wants to go first?
I would say Allie because
I would love to go first.
Okay. So what's your dog's name?
His name is Asher.
What do you actually call him?
I call him Asher. Oh, well, no, I call him like Baba. I call him Stinky.
So, okay. And is he like not a pit bull, but in the pit bull family?
No, he's a little Chihuahua.
Okay, because he has this. Oh, of course, he's a fucking Chihuahua. Okay, because he has this real like I'm a tough dog kind of thing going. Yeah, Chihuahuas are always like I'm big. What bitch? I'm big. I've never met a Chihuahua who didn't present as a big dog. Well, that's not true. A couple times, but not often. Okay, hold on for just a moment. So, do you live with a man?
I'm quarantining with my mom and dad right now.
Does your dad like try to tell him what to do?
No, but is there a man presenting who he hates?
Yes. Yes, there is.
It's my oldest brother who he really doesn't like, who just visited.
Okay. He's so mad. He's like super fucking mad about it. He's just like, you don't understand that I'm the man. Like I'm the man. They were like having a pissing contest, like an alpha dog contest. He's like very bent out of shape about it. He holds grudges. He has a really hard time like letting things go. He feels like you're too forgiving. Sorry.
Makes
he
sense.
feels like you let people step on your feet and you're just like, oh, you really shouldn't do that. And then you let them step on your feet again and it drives him fucking nuts. He feels like he's trying to like show you what you're supposed to do.
That's interesting.
Do you date dudes?
Yes.
He's not a fan of your dudes. Sorry. He's not a fan.
No one is, so it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, he feels like your taste in dudes is he would love to sit you down. Like he would love to sit you down. And like he just feels like if you would ask him more questions, he could help you avoid a lot of problems.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Is it about me pooping
really
or
funny.
masturbating or sleeping?
No, he's totally funny. He's totally funny. He's got a really I mean, ironically, he's the kind of person you would hang out with.
Yeah.
He's obnoxious. He's rude. He's judgy. He's loving. He's loyal. He's really selfish. Like he's all the things you like in a man is what he's telling me. Except for he thinks he's a much better person.
God.
So he's that's what's happening. He's
Asher.
He's a very sweet person when you have pleased him. Now he has you've changed his food just now.
Oh my God, you're crazy. Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
or are you? Or
Oh my
are
God.
you? Yeah.
I changed it yesterday.
Yeah.
Jessica.
He's not sure about it. He's just not sure about it. Is he eating it?
He has like digestive issues and I had to take him. I don't want to give too TMI, but after my brother got here, he like had crazy digestive issues because he got so mad and he like started bleeding out his butt. Like he was so.
Oh, it happened after your brother was there.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
like
awful.
kind
I'm
of
so
that's
sorry.
kind of what sparked it. And so we went to the vet and he got put on new food yesterday. So he's still like getting used to it.
Is it the kibble? Is it like a kibble-y thing?
Yes.
Okay, because he fucking hates it.
Yeah, I know. He's
so
used to wet
mad
food.
That this is the thing, and this is like classic of the guys you like. He's like, that guy pissed me off, and you want me to change? Why should I have to change? He's like
Oh my
very
God.
much pissed off about. Like he's pissed off that he has to make a change because somebody
Yeah.
else is stupid. Your brother, he's got a lot of judgments towards your brother. You got a
He
issue
really
here.
hates my brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
he really,
Wow.
really
a lot of
hates
people
my brother.
do, according to your dog.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
my oldest brother is really hateable.
Yeah. Yeah. And your mother does with your brother what you do with men, according
Yeah.
to your dog.
Yeah.
And that should upset you enough that you change, according to your dog. Honey.
I love my
He's-
dog.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. He doesn't like it when you, in front of other people, tell him he's cute. He finds it a little bit like he's a man. Come on.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
a
my
man.
God.
Interesting.
You do something with his hands, like you get into his paws a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you do it around other people sometimes.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like it when you do it around other people. It's private. It's private.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He like lets you do it because, you're like your besties. That's what you are. He doesn't consider you a parent. Don't even start with that kind
Okay.
of thinking.
Are we boyfriend, girlfriend?
He considers you to be, not sure what the category I would call it of what he's showing me. You're like, the closest is like, I think it was Alice Waters wrote, called animal, like pets familiars. I think
Yeah.
that's the closest thing that I can come up with. Is like,
Yes.
he sees you as a familiar, not
Yeah.
certainly not as a parent. He sees,
Totally.
if anyone's the parent, he feels that he's
my
the
parent.
Yeah. And more like,
I love that he's constantly rolling his eyes at Allie.
Yeah.
What you're saying is that she's going around acting like nothing's wrong, and Asher is literally like, God,
honey.
help me.
Yeah. He's really like,
Stop embarrassing me.
yeah, he does not like to be embarrassed. He does not like to be embarrassed. And sometimes like lovingness is embarrassing for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be a Chihuahua because they don't feel small. And
Right.
so the fact that they are small means that people treat them like they're small. And
Totally.
I've met Chihuahuas who are cool with it, but yours is not one of them. That's for
No,
fucking sure.
yeah, that's why he hates my brother, because my brother will like almost like growl back at him, and then my dog will go crazy. Like it's just like a weird ass relationship between them two.
Okay, the food. So he's back on the food. He's really not a fucking fan of this food. He's just mad about it. Honestly,
Yeah.
he's just really mad about it. I would say, can you just give him a little bit of like wet food? Because you were giving him wet food before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him a little bit of that wet food next to the dry food.
Yeah, I
So
can
he
sneak
can-
it in.
Yeah, because so he can kind of like go back and forth from tastes. It
Yeah.
will help him. It's also just like he doesn't like. Oh, you drink?
No, I don't drink.
Okay, so did you go cold turkey?
Yeah, I've been sober for like 6 years.
Congratulations.
Almost 7 years.
Slash
Thanks.
also, because he just made like a jab about it. Sorry. He was just like, you expect me to just go cold. He's like, you expect me to just quit. You want me to just quit. That didn't work for you. Why do you think it's going to work for me?
Oh my God.
Sorry. He's just a dude. You know what I mean? He's kind of like a dude. So yeah, his attitude is like, help me wean. Don't make me quit.
Oh my God. Asher, you little butthole.
Yeah, he's a really sweet butthole though. Like
Oh
the
my
sweetest of all the
God.
buttholes.
That's so funny. You know what he did? He did rip the cover off my big book the other day, which is kind of funny. My AA book.
Yeah. He's trying to talk to you about, okay. So you know, I don't want to get too personal, but he's got a lot of feelings and theories about permission to speak freely, Captain.
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. He feels that you're at this crossroads and you've been like hedging and you haven't been making the changes you already know you're supposed to make because you've been scared.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, he's saying you're being scared and weak. And it's like, he's a dog. So his idea of weakness is a dog's idea of weakness, right?
Yes.
Like this idea of like, you know, when you're scared, what do? You growl.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
100%,
that's not what you do. When you're scared, you kind of like recede and he wants you to growl more.
that makes sense.
And he feels that you already know what to do, but you're like, haven't given yourself permission to do it yet. And he's just, the only way he knows how to encourage you is by being aggressive towards you, or being like kind of difficult, because it's essentially like the idea of what happens on a walk. If he doesn't want to walk somewhere, what does he do? He digs in his heels, right?
Yeah.
And then you pick him up. He fucking hates that. But the upshot is like in dynamic with you, he wants you to know that you digging in your heels is just as annoying and it's only hurting you. You know?
My God, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Well, he's your best friend. You spent all this time with him. Of course, he knows you really well.
Yeah.
You know?
My God, that's so wild. That's like me and him to a T.
To a T. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Were you the only person who's been his person, or is there someone before you?
I adopted him from a shelter when he was like 4 months old. So there was someone before me, but I don't know. I don't know his story.
Yeah. I mean, he just, there was somebody who put like bows on him or something.
Ooh.
He fucking hates clothing. He does not want you to put clothing on him.
Wait.
Is it you? Are you putting clothing on him?
No, sometimes, but he has a bow tie. He has a bow tie.
He doesn't like it.
Dog tag.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like anything that gets in his way. He doesn't like anything that feminizes him. He's like a bro. He's a total bro.
A bro dog.
A bro chihuahua.
Dog's a bro.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a bro. No. Do you like bros? I feel like that's kind of your flavor.
No, I like narcissistic like musicians who look like they'd like keep me in a basement somewhere.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so he's a definite step up. He's a definite step up. He doesn't like the bow.
Okay,
Don't
I'll
do the
take
bow.
that off.
So sorry. I know, it's so cute, right? It's very hard. It's hard to be adorable because people want to treat you like you're adorable. But if your personality is like, don't do that.
Totally.
So that's his take on you. And
that all makes total sense. Cause I think he's so cute. And then he'll like go outside and like try to kill rabbits and and stuff like, so I mean, like he's a manly man and I want to treat him like a little baby, and he's
of course you do. I would too. Also, but also he doesn't mind it like in privacy.
Yeah.
It's just not public.
In our romantic times. Yeah. In our romantic nighttime times, I could treat him like a baby, but
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. This was incredible. Who wants to do a second?
Oh gosh.
Melissa, go. Do you want to go? Do you want to do your kitty cat?
Sure. I'm scared now.
And why don't you need to see? And you don't need to see them.
No, we're just talking.
Like, but they have to be in the room.
No, the cats are that dog wasn't in the room. Oh wait, is your dog in the room with you right now?
No.
No, yeah, no, it's not about that at all. So this is the thing about psychic, about mediumship, and about animal communication. It has nothing to do with physicality.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's just like if you go back to my metaphor about the internet, yes, I do need to have a device to access the internet, right?
Yeah.
So my computer is accessing the internet that allows us to talk right now. But it's not like, I don't know, I don't have to be by the modem. I got 5G. You might tell me it's giving me cancer. I don't know, but I got 5G. You know what I mean? Like, I think, the animal doesn't need to be physically close to you or to me. They just need to be willing to talk to me.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just communicating. Animals communicate through telepathy. And I hesitate to use the word telepathy because people have this idea of what telepathy is that's like stupid and from horror movies.
Right.
But it's just communicating through the sharing of pictures.
Whoa. Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
Okay, who's next? Stop hedging.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, I'll go. I mean,
Okay.
I have two cats.
What are their two names?
The oldest one is the professor. She's 10. And then the newest one, she's about 9 months old. Her name is Charlie.
So is the professor spending a lot of time like a little bit up, like on a thing up off the floor?
Yes, she sleeps above.
Is that
the
new?
bed. Yes, it is.
Yeah. She's doing it to avoid Charlie.
Yes.
Not in a like traumatized way. She's trying to give Charlie space to like develop.
Mm-hmm.
The professor is a very interesting cat because she's got like owl vibes. You know what I mean? Like she really like she likes to watch. She's really observant. She's very supportive. She's really smart. But she's not always interested in getting in the middle of a thing. Does that make sense?
Oh no, yeah. She stays around the perimeter. She's always just kind of peeking out through like bushes, like looking at me.
Yeah. She's such a serious person that she likes things that are casual because it like counterbalances how self-serious she is. Do you live with a partner?
I do.
It's a dude, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. She says, and again, this is why I warned you guys that like shit gets personal because these are the people who you live with. But she says you both have this like thing that you do where you don't really talk about the deep thing that's happening. You talk about the symptoms all around the thing. And that she thinks it's really hurting him. She's not like very differently than Daddy Dog. She's not about to tell you what to do. She's not trying to tell you how to feel. She's just concerned, you know, and she's invested in both of you. She really likes is he husband or boyfriend?
He's a husband.
Okay. Yeah. She called him husband. So I just wasn't sure if that was true or not. Very like concerned and kind. And she's actually a lot less concerned with the kitten. When you first said that you got a new kitten, I was like, you need an older cat. I just assumed that she would have a lot to say about that. She's just giving Charlie space to like figure out who she is. But she does not have a maternal instinct towards Charlie. To be clear.
She does not.
No, she does not. She does not. She does not. She has more of a like, I'm too old for this shit. I don't want to get involved. I have no hard feelings here. That's her attitude about this.
Yeah, that's exactly her attitude.
Yeah. And that's her attitude about like a lot of things.
Yeah.
But she has endless energy for like sitting with you in your silence. Like endless energy. She really, that's when you connect with her the most. It's when you're like, your thoughts are very loud, she says. And she is very like engaged and interested. And were you close with your mother's mother?
Yeah, I was pretty close with her.
Yeah, and she's in spirit, eh?
No, she's actually the only living grandparent I have.
Oh, interesting. Because your cat is really pointing to her. So I don't know if your grandmother is somebody that you should be talking to a little bit more right now.
Yeah, I've tried to like reach out to her more. Like I've felt kind of guilty for not talking to her more because she's like the one that I have connected with the most of like all my grandparents.
The professor feels that this is kind of like a pattern for you, is that you have all these thoughts and all these intentions and they're so overwhelming that you don't do with them what you intend to do.
Oh, sure.
And so the professor is like interested in you getting more organized and coming up with plans and systems instead of insights. And that
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, she's a very smart cat. She's a very smart cat. And she wants your wellness, but it's not like she's like invested in what you do in that way. So she's also she's not, again, very different than Mr. Daddy Dog. She's not trying to tell you what to do, actually. She's just like, this is obviously what you should do. You know, do whatever the hell you want to do. But like, that's just her attitude. She's like, take it or leave it, honey. But this is good. This is obviously good advice. And she's she feels that she's told you this many times before. And I think you've sat there and had this feeling that you just had this insight that you should do this. And then you get distracted by the 70 other insights you have. So I think you are actually hearing her, but you are discounting it as nothing because it's, we have this idea that with psychic perception or hearing an animal, it's like the voice of Morgan Freeman in your head. It's like distinctly different and it's booming and all that kind of shit. Yeah. But it's really just on the subtle plane. Like I told you about that Creep song by Radiohead, right? Like it's on the subtle plane. So I do think you are actually receiving her guidance. You just are discounting it as like not much. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. We're all able to do it. It's a question of, most people that love their animal friends are good at responding to their needs, right? And do you think it's because, and the answer for many humans will be yes to this, do you think it's because you're a superior being who just figures out silly, dumb animals? The answer to that is, by the way, no. It's because you're hearing them. You're just discounting your instincts as your own, as opposed to understanding that you are actually like being shown a picture. And that picture in your mind just seems like, oh, this is my idea. Of course, I should go do this. I'm a human. I'm in charge of everything. And that might be true. And it also might not be true. Right. And there's no value in overthinking it because the second you overthink it, you stop hearing your animals talk to you. So, yeah, fun facts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That
was
my pleasure. Insightful.
Can we hear about Maria's doggy?
Yeah.
Miss Piggles.
Is that really her name? Miss Piggles.
Her name's Miss Piggles.
That's adorable. Yeah. Is this a little dog?
Yeah, she's a little Frenchie. She's
a Frenchie.
She's about 30 pounds.
Does she have like a twiggled tail?
No, she's got no tail. If people ask if like we cut it off, and we're like, no, awful. She was just not born with a tail.
That's right. They don't have tails, do they?
Some of them do. Even some of them have like little nub tails, but she has like a flat bottom. She has what I call the shelf. It's just like a little shelf.
I understand that. I have a shelf too. It's like barely anything there. So wait, say her name. What do you actually call her?
We call her a lot of things. Yeah. She's Piggles mostly. There's Pig Baby, the Angel, Pig Baby Angel.
Oh, wait a minute. So, but you don't have a kid, do you? A human child?
No, she's our child.
Are you planning on having a kid?
Yeah. I mean, we'd like to. Yeah.
So when you say you would like to, are you actually like actively talking about it and like kind of planning it?
I did. We did talk about it the other day.
Okay, because that's what she's leading with.
Well, because I'm not getting any younger, you guys.
I know.
She has opinions. Ooh, she has opinions about whether or not you have a child, and when you have a child, and whether or not you're ready to have a child. She's a lot of opinions. It's interesting because she's of all the animals that I've been introduced to here, she's the most hesitant to talk to me.
Ooh. Oh my God, why?
She's just a little like, who the fuck are you? Is she suspicious with new people?
That sounds like Piggles.
Okay,
right.
Okay.
What?
She's like a little like, I don't know if I fucking need to talk to you. But then, what I showed her is like, you don't have to tell me about you. You can just tell me about anything you want to talk about. And that's when she showed me the kid thing. Because she doesn't really want to like reveal herself. She's a private person. She's not super interested in like, she doesn't need to make new friends. She's fine with her friends. She's fine. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't want to talk to me about her. She is, you feed her all day long. Is that true? There's like a lot of laughter here. So I'm assuming this is a thing. Do you feed her all day long?
Maria.
She's basically tasted every meal Craig and I have ever had. Like she gets a bite of every single thing we eat.
She's a fan. She's just like, if there's something, you need to know, she likes eating all day long. Like a lot.
Yeah. She's like her thing.
Is it your thing?
Funny.
Or is it your thing?
It's Craig's thing for sure.
It's somebody's thing. That's for damn sure. Okay.
She loves it. Yeah.
She does. She loves it. And she knows that it's different. She knows you tone it down around other people, so she knows it's different. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They will out you for all the things you do. How old are you?
I'm 34.
Oh, you're only 34. Okay. She's, again, permission to speak freely.
Please speak away.
Okay, you're supposed to say permission granted, Captain, but I'll allow it.
Permission granted.
Yeah, sci-fi nerds. Anyone a sci-fi nerd? No, nothing.
Yes,
okay, cool.
yes.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, she doesn't think you're ready. Not you, the two of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, she doesn't think the two of you are ready, and like this is she's okay, this is obnoxious. She's like, this is the thing you do. You get like fixated on an idea and then you freak yourself out about an idea and you like worry yourself about an idea and then you decide you need to do something to fix it. This is like a pattern for you, question mark?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what she says is a pattern, which is why I took off my glasses and rubbed my eyes because I was like, well, that's a kind of an obnoxious call out, but okay, here we are. And she just thinks you need to slow down a little bit about the kid thing because you guys aren't ready. You're like not far from ready, but you're not ready. So why do this before you're ready? Do you sabotage yourself? Because she seems to think that you do this like just in the 11th hour, you change approaches.
I don't know if it would be change approaches, but I definitely like get obsessed about and anxious about things and then kind of go full it takes up all my brain space.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's been happening for you very recently about the idea of having a baby. But she seems to think so. And I don't know why this is what she's showing me, but she just wants to put like powder on you so you slow down. I don't know why she's showing me powder on you. Like, I don't know.
Powder?
Do you guys do that to her? Do you like have to like put something on her?
Well, she gets skin irritations, but it's not powder. It's just a little ointment.
Okay. It's like this thing that you do and you're like, I'm doing this to protect you. Stop resisting. Like, I just want to help you. Is that kind of like the conversation you have? Because that's what she's showing me. It's like a white thing. Yeah. She's like, I just want to do that to you. I just want you to like take the lick, take it. It's going to make you better. Like that's her association with it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And she just has a great life. She says that like for all the ways that you and your partner are not ready, and she feels that they are innumerable. But you know, I can't tell if that's true or not. That's just her take. She's like a little bit of a like, she's the kind of person who you can tell all your deepest secrets to, and you will tell her, don't tell anyone. And she won't tell most of them, but she will tell one or two. She's like a little bit bitchy, bitchy. She's like super trustworthy, except for when she's not. Like she's a little bit like that.
Right.
And so I'm not sure completely if her kind of like assessment of your situation is totally reality, but she feels that the three of you have a really good thing going on. And
she
does. Well, of course, you're feeding her off of every fucking meal. Please, she doesn't want to invite a fucking baby into that. But she feels that the three of you have this really good thing going, and of course, because she's not thinking about her fertility or yours. That's part of the answer. But you're only 34. You're fine. Freeze your eggs if you have to. I don't know. That's easy for me to say. I want fucking babies. But I think that the upshot of what she's saying is actually really good advice, which is she's just reflecting back to you that you can have all the things, but if you have all the things at once before you're ready for the things, then it's like it's not as good for you. Like, why not wait until why not eat dessert at the end of your meal instead of in the middle, and then you have to go back to your fucking Brussels sprouts? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of her attitude about it. I mean, it's definitely my metaphor. It's not her metaphor. But she is not super verbal. She's not super interested in other people. She kind of gets all of her needs met by you.
Yeah, I mean, she loves people. Like, she'll like run up. Like what she does, she runs up and then she like gets her rubbies that we call them, and then she like walks away. Like she doesn't need. She
likes physical contact. She likes physicality, but she's not like the professor had like literally like a professor's list of things to tell me. Right. And like, I'm sorry, I just keep on wanting to call him daddy dog
I'm
daddy.
so into him being my
good.
daddy.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. Because he's totally got daddy vibes. So like daddy dog is just kind of like, let me tell you, you should stop having sex with these men or whatever. And like your dog is much more she's not interested in talking to me. So she's going to talk to me about something that's going to help her have a better life, but she doesn't really want to like chat with me. Whereas like daddy dog is like these fucking kibble, you know what I mean? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't mean that she doesn't like value physical contact, but she gets so much out of your like tight little home that she doesn't really need a whole lot more. She doesn't want a whole lot more. And she really, are you guys on quarantine? Yeah, because she really loves it. She loves it. She doesn't care about walking.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about walking. She can take it or leave it. She really just likes hanging out at home. Yeah. Do you guys do long walks?
Not much because she hurt her back, but so she's, we stay inside quite a bit.
Yeah, she likes it. She's not mad. She likes it. She likes chilling. She likes hanging. She likes noshing, like she's very happy with this lifestyle that you guys have going. Like she's not, a lot of dogs would be really miserable if they couldn't go for walks. She's not the one. She's fine with it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Piggles. I love it.
Yeah. Piggles is cute. Piggles is cute.
Jerk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Piggles.
Yeah.
oh
it's
my
cute.
God. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah,
This
thank
is
you
so
so
like
much.
incredible and so illuminating and like so on point for my dog at least.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What just to reiterate, like if people want to contact you or listen to your podcast, where can they do that?
So I'll start with the disappointing thing of I'm not taking clients at this time. So if people are like, oh my God, talk to my animal, I can't do that for you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So this was like a special fun thing.
Ooh,
thank you.
My pleasure,
Thank
my pleasure,
you
my
so
pleasure, my
much.
pleasure. Oh my God, totally. So there's that, but you can send in questions to my podcast at ghostofapodcast.com to have me talk to your animal or whatever else. And I have some episodes up of animal communication stuff I've done. One of them is called Pussy Problems because it was about a cat and it was a problem. And I thought it was very clever, but
I've listened to that one. It's really
I
good.
love it.
Yes. I think it's really good. So, so people can find me there. They can find me on the social medias. You can download my free app for iOS. It's called Tiny Spark. What else?
Whoa, what is it? What is it?
It's like a magic 8-ball for millennials. It's like pink and it says things like move the fuck on or like you stop asking, you already know the answer. Yeah. And it's free and there's no ads because I'm very bad at business, but I love cute tools. So yeah. So you can totally like download that and read my horoscopes and I have Patreon. I have all the things,
Amazing. Yeah, all the things.
Yeah.
You got to have all the things.
I do the things. And you can find me anywhere. And, like I said, Lanyadoo.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're so appreciative. And everyone make sure that you follow and listen to Ghosts of a Podcast because it's awesome. And thank you again for being on. We so appreciate your time.
Oh my God, I've loved it. Thank you so much.
Of course. Bye. Okay, well, that was incredible. I think it was pretty on for all of us. I would agree. Melissa, Maria, you guys agree?
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was
interesting. I got a lot of stuff to think about.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to think about. My dog apparently is a huge asshole who hates me,
Your
but I
dog is a bro.
love that about us. My dog is a bro. I want to get him like a little backwards cap and like a beer. I want to crack open a brewski for him.
He's your daddy dog.
That's
He's
like
your
makes me
daddy
horny.
dog.
I cannot start calling my dog daddy. That's like my horny word. So yeah, as usual, once her book's open, I'm definitely going to book an appointment for tarot or maybe to talk to the dead. So if people want to follow us or donate to us, Melissa, where can they go?
You can email us at webcrawlerspod@gmail.com, or you can find us on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or Reddit. We got a Patreon.
Perfect. That sounds good to me. That's about it. Anyways, I am Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
And I'm producer Maria.
And I'm Mrs. Piggles. Okay. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Erios original.
Powered by ACAST.